You don't have to necessarily give a take back for this take. In fact, if you're Maui Snake, be careful. Because I'm actually going to use this take to flame PGL. And here's the hot take. I think if you gave PGL $1 billion, you would get the exact same major, but Silvio from PGL would just order a lobster with his filet mignon, not just filet mignon and the Coca-Cola. Like, I don't think any extra amount of money will ever level them up, because I've now worked with PGL myself, a bunch of majors and many, many tournaments over the years, and it's the same fucking shit from 10 years ago. Like, when I was at that PGL Stockholm major, guys, the one that had the most viewership ever, they were having tech problems for the whole first 2 weeks that I would expect if I went to some like shitter tournament in like back then in Kassad's part of the world where it wasn't top tournament, you know, it was just like EFRAG running it or something like, and these guys were running a major. I'm talking like things like you're an analyst talking into the camera and there's no one in the room to even find out if there's a problem, that you can't even signal to someone, hey, we're not actually on camera right now, we're not on camera, no, there's no one to signal to. I'm talking about stuff like you're listening, trying to listen to Richard and the others, and there's a sound in one ear like someone's unplugged, like slightly unplugged, like a microphone out of an amp, you know, that like that's just going on in your ear the whole fucking time while you're trying to talk. If you don't know, fans, as an analyst, one of the worst things you can do is what you call signal jam someone, which is put sound into their headphones that's distracting while you're trying to talk. It literally, like, it short circuits your brain as your brain's trying to like hear yourself and make the take, etc. And the reason I bring this up is this, guys. PGL Stockholm was like 2.5 years ago at this point in time. They've had since then another major. They had PGL Antwerp, but now for this PGL major in CS2, I've already seen clips where Richard Lewis, the camera comes back to him in the studio, he's talking, his mic isn't on. You're just him there like he's mute. I've seen a clip where he talks over a highlight package of rounds as he's like introducing the game, like, you know, and here in the game, this team did this, and suddenly his mic just goes for like 5-4 seconds. And I'm like, bro, this is the main fucking stream. I'm watching the main stream of the World Championship of Counter-Strike, and I'm getting a production level, like I said, I would expect if I am at a fucking tier 2 LAN in 2015 in Serbia. This is a fucking joke. Like, this is, and the reason I bring this up is this. I used to feel really sorry for the likes of PGL and Star Series, because I always used to think, I bet they don't have the same backing that like ESL does, or some E-League, some giant company that can spend all this money. But I'll tell you what, they just don't spend the money. I actually really believe at this point in time, because the problem I have is this. If you go back in time, round the time of that PGL Stockholm major, Silvio, the head guy of PGL, openly bragged that they make money running majors. Yeah, no shit! You don't spend it on the fucking major! This is outrageous to me. So as I say, if they're bragging that they're making money, guys, it's one thing in the old days where people were losing money. Yes, I would lose millions running a major. If you're making money, that just tells me you're not putting the money into the fucking staff. Because I've been at these tournaments, and I'm telling you right now, I have seen a number of times one person doing 2 jobs. I've even seen a guy at the PGL Stockholm major who had just worked with almost no break, fucking the international in Dota 2, came straight off and then was doing like 14 hours days or whatever on like fucking CSGO major. Like I'm talking like, this is like almost like borderline inhumane conditions. Like, what is this? And sadly, like I say, if it's true that they make money and all the money's gone up over the years, and they've now had, this isn't their first major, they've had many majors, they've had many CS tournaments. What would change? It's like the Valve thing. If you don't like Valve, one thing you should never say is, if they have more money, maybe they'll do it. They've already got infinite money. They've got like essentially a money printing machine. They're just doing what they want to do. So I'm going to say the same thing about PGL. I actually think PGL production will suck like this forever because it's just their choice. They've just chosen this is acceptable. I personally don't think it's acceptable. I would, by the way, if I was at the major, I would be melding. It's why, if you don't notice, there's a key angle. I'll just throw this out there as a little bit of a freebie for people who remember old broadcasts I was on. You might know sometimes I would on camera throw the desk under the fucking boss and be like, I can't hear. Like, I only do that if I've already told you a bunch of times privately, if I've already had that issue before the tournament and you're just doing it to me. Because what I decided was this: I'll take it on the chin and be a pro if it's like one off or it's just an issue or, you know, whatever, we've got to carry the segment. But if you're doing it continuously and now you're just making me look shit at my job, I'm going to make sure people know that you're shit at your job. And that's why I can't do my job, because you've got sound in my ear, or you've got a fucking, I can't even hear his mic, or we're not even on camera right now. Like, by the way, there's a brilliant one if you're an analyst. You've got a sight gag prepared, you're just not even on camera. Brilliant. No way of knowing if you are or not. Like, so, like, it's up to you if you want to address it or not. But I just thought about it this major because I realised if they're still having problems like that now, why would it ever improve? What's going to change? What's going to change at the next one?
Nothing. I think like the biggest problem, I do agree with you. It's absolutely unacceptable that the one guy, like you said, should be doing multiple jobs. This is a major. This is not a tier 2 event. in 2015 in UK, right?
Yes,
so it's
exactly.
just it's just terrible.
I appreciate the way Maui, he
Yeah,
did it on purpose. I thought he was doing it as a joke. Just because I made it in 2015 in Serbia, he was like, it's not like an event 2015 in the UK though. It's like, all right, okay, touche, okay.
The thing is, like, it's completely unacceptable to have this type of product problems on a major, right? If you are a first timer, then yeah, we can, understand
agreed.
it. If you have a lack of resources, we can understand it. But if you don't have lack of resources, this is simply unacceptable. The same thing was with Blast before the Paris and RMRs and the things they had in Asian RMR, if you remember, and the North American one, which was delayed, and that they delayed for 1 day. It was just garbage all over the place because they were saving money. I think all of these problems when it comes to like tournaments and tiers, for example, ESL is not saving money on this. ESL is economical company. They're trying to save money, but not as much. Like they know where they need to put the money in to make their product look good. Like with the tech guys, with the producers, they have some of the best producers in the game.
For sure.
They have admins who are working day and night. The sound guys, the video guys, the fucking replay guys. Everybody's like on point there, right? Somebody's going to make a mistake. There is going to be through rotten apples here and there. But overall, they are putting the money into this product, right? And that's why they have the best organized tournament, like Kato Cologne and all these things, and IEFs. And every time they have a major, like nobody complains about that one. Everybody were complaining about the Face, about the PGL, and about the Blasted Paris, right? Nobody was complaining, and the DreamHack. But nobody was complaining about the ESL because they know how to do it. Anyway, the thing is, like, what we are missing here as a community, as an esports industry, we are not unified. Like, there is not a unified association of esports, a global esports, like FIFA in football, right? Like FIFA in basketball, like something that can be unified. They have like strict rules and strict industry standards they need to follow when it comes to organizing the events. And Valve should help with those, organizing, hiring proper qualified admins instead of people who are volunteering. Stop cutting costs on sound guys who are there for the first time. Of course, they're going to fuck it up and not put Richard's mic to be back on because they don't know. They're underpaid. They're fucking rookies. They're under pressure. What the fuck should we blame them?
I'll even give you another angle, Cassad. I didn't mention myself. I'll tell you the other crazy thing when I was at Stockholm is sometimes the production problems would also be because they were doing both fucking broadcasts. They were doing like another broadcast at the same time, which is like, what? And so like, that's why sometimes they wouldn't be checking hours. They'd be looking at the other one or something mad. And you'd be like, how's that possible for a major? But that's what they were doing.
Yeah, it's just like I said, when it comes to like the CSPPA and the CTOs organizers and all these like aspects outside of the game itself, it needs to be unified so we can have some industry standards that everybody will follow. And everybody needs to sign up, register, agree to these terms, and then suffer if they don't follow it. So you don't get another major, and not two in a row.
No, by the way, I would absolutely agree to that. If we had like a basic set of requirements, if you can't reach these things, then I think, I think that would be really cool. Yeah, good idea.
Fireball, I would dedicate, listen, this major was shit because of this, this, and this. How can you allow this thing to happen in 11-11? Why didn't you check the drivers? Why didn't this fix whether that's on Valve too, because they didn't fix that thing. But also, like, Silvio, you mentioned him. I haven't seen him tweet about
interesting, isn't it?
What happened.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it?
He tweeted, I think, about the stickers, and that's it. He didn't even tweet, he retweeted it. But he didn't say anything about this PC crash rating that's going on.
Yep.
I mean, you are the head guy there. Surely you say something.
Sure.
Because your company is representing this game on the highest level right now, and you are not following the industry standards. So, I mean, we saw what happened in the RMR, in the open qualifiers. It's just, what did we expect to be on the major itself? Similar thing. And I don't know what needs to change. Like I said, we need to, the CS needs to unify under one roof. That's probably not possible, but that would be the solution, right? To kind of have the first standards and the rules that everybody needs to follow if you want to organize a tier 1 event. Not everybody just running their own fucking rodeo and just fucking doing whatever the fuck they want. And simply because players want to play, they're just banking on that. And admins need work so they can work for anything. So it's just like, it's still shit 10 years later. And nobody's paying attention to it.
Just leave it at that. See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.